Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about affordable niche fragrances. I think that when you say niche fragrances, people get scared because they think it's very expensive, it's very challenging. So today I'm going to show you the niche houses that are quite affordable, and the fragrances from this brand are not challenging at all. They're really easy to wear. And I'm talking, when I say not expensive, I mean the fragrances I'll show you today are much less than $100, especially online. So they really deserve attention because they are high quality French. Most of them are French houses, and I think you might find something for yourself. If you are not familiar yet with the niche fragrances, I think these are the great brands to start with. I want to start my today's video with a brand that inspired me to make this video because I discovered it recently. I'm talking about the brand that is called, it has quite a long French name. It's called Le Couvent Smyrna. I hope I pronounced it correctly. This is a French brand that was devoted to the Couvent that was built in 1614, and that was the place where the botanist of Louis XIV, the King Louis XIV, lived for a long time and discovered many plants and many animals. And the brand, the house, this French house that was created, I believe, in 2018, devoted the fragrances to very photorealistic natural smells, the smells of nature, I would say. The first fragrance I'm going to talk about is called Hattai, and this is how the bottle looks like. I would say this is a very high quality bottle with a nice picture of wolf on the side, and you can also see it from this side as well. The quality of glass is really high. The cap is made of metal, and it's really well made also, and it reminds me the cap of the L'Artisan Parfumeur bottles. So altogether, I would say really well packaged fragrance of a very high quality. I would say the juice inside is also really high quality, and I think the mission of the brand was to create naturalistic, photorealistic fragrances from a very high-end ingredients, quite wearable, I would say, but at the same time quite affordable. And I think they achieved their goal, definitely. And what is also very important to mention is that the creative director of this niche house is Jean-Claude Ellena. He is a world-known, very famous perfumer, and the fragrance itself is all the fragrance, I would say, they are quite simplistic. They're not packed with ingredients, however they smell very sophisticated. This particular one is very warm, very spicy. It's a mixture of what I smell here is cacao, like a chocolate one, like a milky chocolate mixed with red hot chili pepper. Though the list of ingredients, like how the fragrance is presented on the box, it mentions that it has red berries. I believe probably mention they mean the pink pepper. I don't know. However, I don't smell pink pepper here. I smell this in this particular one. I smell this very, very hot, spicy, like burning red hot chili pepper mixed with chocolate, not the bitter chocolate, the milky chocolate, the soft one. It's not like tonic in any way, no, not at all. However, this chocolatey aspect of this fragrance is not bitter for me, and it's really woody. It's very woody on the base. People compare this fragrance to Kenzo Jungle Elephant. I would say in terms of how realistic the fragrance smells, how refined the ingredients are, I would say I would prefer Hattai. The spices here and the way how this fragrance smells, for me, is more of my taste, I would say. It's very warming type of fragrance. Like I think it's a very autumnal type of fragrance. It's perfect for a rainy, windy, gloomy days, just to warm your soul. And it's absolutely unisex. Explanation of the name says it's a she wolf. However, I think this is absolutely androgynous. I mean, any gender can wear this fragrance because it's, again, spicy, warm, a bit gourmanding, I would say. Yes, it's a gourmand type of fragrance, but for some reason I think this pepper is so hot, it's so spicy, that I wouldn't take a bite of this chocolate. For me, that would be too spicy. The next fragrance is from the same brand, is called Heliaca, and it's devoted to the eagle. And this is how the bottle looks, and I like this picture again, the picture of eagle that you can see from this side as well. Really cute and nice, and again the very well made bottle and cap. It's I would say this fragrance, it's again androgynous, and it's like unisex type of fragrance. However, I would say it's more leaning to the men's side, because for me this is a very woody, spicy, peppery, with some notes of cardamom, probably. Like, it's a spicy, woody fragrance. It doesn't have any sweetness at all. People, by the way, in Fragrantica compare this fragrance to discontinued Gucci Pour-Homme, I believe, the one that was very famous, and there are still lots of fans of that fragrance, and people say it's very similar. So if you're looking probably for something very similar to Gucci Pour-Homme, this is the one. The fragrances from this brand, they do not last, they're not like monstrous in terms of performance. They last a good amount of time, like especially Hattai, like it lasts for 6 to 7 hours on my skin, and even more on the clothes and hair. This one is just probably less concentrated than Hattai. It's about 4 to 5 hours on my skin. However, again, this is a very typical French perfumery. They are not shouting, they are not loud, they're not screaming, not at all. They are quite subtle, but at the same time they create a bubble that you can smell. You can smell yourself, which is, I believe, is the most important thing. So you can smell your fragrance yourself, first of all. And these are that type of fragrances. They do not want to represent you. You are the one who represents these fragrances. I think this is very important. The accents are on you, not on the fragrance. The next fragrance from this brand is in a different bottle. It's a black bottle, a really beautiful one, like luxurious, I would say. And this fragrance, I believe, this line in a black bottle, so it's devoted to the cities the botanist of the King Louis XIV visited, and this particular one is called Smyrna. I believe this is a city in Greece, and the fragrance is about rose. It's about spicy rose. It's a mixture of black pepper, rose. It has some woody notes as well. I believe it also has a little bit of ginger, probably. I can smell something here. It's a bit green. It's citrusy, definitely. You can smell citrus aspect. It's very, in the start, it's, I wouldn't say it's mostly citruses that you can smell, but no, but you can definitely feel that the citrus is present in this fragrance, definitely. It is a linear fragrance if you look in the Fragrantica. However, on my skin, I would say it plays and it develops and it opens. It is a very sophisticated type of fragrance for me. By the way, people compare it to Le Labo's Rose 31, and I would say yes, they're very similar. I have Le Labo's set of samples, and my favorite one was Rose 31 from the whole set, and I'm very happy that I have this fragrance because, again, It's very similar to Rose 31, but again, without this comparison, I would say the fragrance by itself is really, really beautiful. As I said, it's not that simple that it may seem. It's complex, it's deep, it has facets, it really plays on my skin. And the rose, it's like a chypre type of fragrance. It's the rose chypre. I love rose chypres, and this is one of the most beautiful, I would say. And for that price, is just really a hidden gem. And when I say for that price, I mean it's really, really cheap, because this 100 ml bottle you can purchase online for around $35 to $40, and I think this is a perfect price for this quality. The next brand I want to talk, the next house is a French house also, and I love this house. I have many fragrances from this house. It's Patricia de Nicolai, and she is the relative of the Guerlain house, and she creates her fragrances with respect to the classical French perfumery school. And the fragrance I want to show you today are in a smaller bottles. I have a bigger size bottles, but they are more expensive. But I want to talk about the smaller size today, because I think these 30 ml bottles are very affordable. They are around starting from $45 to $60, something like that. You can find them especially on the discounters, and these 30 ml bottles I think are more than enough, because many of Patricia de Nicolai's fragrances are in intense version. They are in high concentration. They are quite strong, I would say, long-lasting, performing type of fragrances. So 30 ml is really a nice size, a good size for that. I want to show you today a fragrance that's called Cuba, and I think even the small size bottle looks really, really nice, and also, you know, you get the same experience like from the bigger one. It's packaged the same way. The Cuba is, I think, can somehow scare the women, because what they think is it's a leathery tobacco type of fragrance that is most of the time is associated with men's fragrances. But I would say this is a total unisex, because this is quite a soft tobacco fragrance for me. This is how I smell it. For me, it smells like citrusy tobacco, a very dry one, mixed with a hay, again very dry and aromatic hay, wrapped in a suede, in a beige color suede, because suede has that a little bit skin scent as well, in the best possible way. This fragrance also has in the ingredients, it has civet, but this is not that type of civet that can scare you. By the way, many of Patricia de Nicolai's fragrances have civet note, but just don't be afraid of that. This is not a challenging animalic, you know, civet that you will not be able to wear. No, this is a very wearable, very warm type of tobacco. It's dry, as I said, it's aromatic, it's spicy, it has lots of spices like anise, it has cardamom if I'm not mistaken, it's a bit floral, it has geranium, it has lavender if I'm not mistaken, it also has mint and lemon. It's a bit fresh on the top. So altogether I would say this is a very wearable, warm, very cozy for me, androgynous type of fragrance. Anyone can wear this with the perfect performance. It lasts all day long, and you know, it's quite noticeable. It's a noticeable type of fragrance. So it's a polite fragrance, but don't overspray. Another fragrance that I love also is a very fresh one. It's like eau de cologne type of fragrance. However, the concentration is not eau de cologne, it's more like eau de parfum concentration. It's Cap Neroli. It's called Cap Neroli. Again, 30 ml, and again, nice bottle and quite an affordable price. And this is a typical French fresh for the French Riviera seaside type of fragrance, with lots of citruses. It has mint, this is, for me, first of all, is a Neroli bomb, because I can smell here loads of Neroli. I would say Neroli is predominant note in this fragrance, and if you like Neroli, most probably you will like this fragrance. It's really fresh, again, citrusy, minty, long-lasting, classical eau de cologne, I would say. As I said, it's again with respect to the classical French school, so perfumery school. So if you like eau de colognes, just try this one. And the next fragrance is called Musc Intense, and this is again 30 ml, nice bottle, and as you see, I use this fragrance. It's quite popular because I like the combination of rose and pear, like a bit candyish pear, like a candy-like pear in this fragrance, and musk here. It is so soft, it's like a feather, it's airy, it's a glowing type of fragrance. It's gold, I would say, without being heavy. It's a fragrance that gives me associations with the sunrise, with the morning, with lots of light, sunlight. So amazing fragrance. I highly recommend you to try. Don't be afraid of musk here. Musk here is, again, feather-like. It's very light, so high quality, really beautiful juice. And when I run out of the small bottle, the most probably I'll get a bigger one for myself. The next house is from Italy. This is an Italian house, and it's called Acqua di Parma, and it's famous with the eau de colognes that they create. This is the packaging of the fragrance. This is how they package the fragrances, and this is how the bottles look like. They, most of the time, they are transparent, but mine is green, and I love this color. It's so vibrant, it's so beautiful. I just love this bottle. And the name of the fragrance is Colonia Club. So let me put the box here. This fragrance, I would say, leans more to the masculine side. However, I fell in love with this fragrance. It is so beautiful. It is green, fresh, citrusy, minty, herbal, very fresh, out of the shower type of cleanness. A bit, it's a fougere, and it's a bit barbershop-like fragrance. I don't like, you know, as a rule, I don't like barbershop fragrances. I don't have a lot in my collection, and my husband is also not a fan of barbershop fragrances. But this one is really nice. It's really good. It's long-lasting, by the way. The performance is really good. And again, as I said, Acqua di Parma is a sort of brand that that makes eau de cologne concentrations most of all. And the fragrances from Acqua di Parma do not last long normally, but this one lasts. It really does. It's really fresh, nice, green. I would say if you like that type of fragrances, you can even buy it blindly. Some people say it is from the same family as Green Irish Tweed from Creed. I would say the most probably yes. Yes, they have some similarities. They don't smell. It's not a clone in any way, no, not at all. But just they are from the same family profile, I would say. And I heard that this fragrance was discontinued. So if you see it in the discounters, I highly suggest you to give it a try. The next fragrance is the one that I purchased a long time ago, and I love it. And this is the yellow bottle, like not a yellow bottle, a yellow packaging. Yeah, it's bright yellow, like orange or like mandarin. And the bottle, it looks like this, and I would say this is a typical bottle for Acqua di Parma. This is how the bottles mostly look like. And as you see, I like this fragrance a lot because this is also very fresh, very citrusy. Oh, so beautiful. Citrusy, yellow, bright, you know, invigorating. It's effervescent. I don't know what other adjectives to find for this fragrance, because it's really optimistic and nice. It's packed with citruses, and it also has floral notes as well. You can smell it. That's why I would say this fragrance, apart from the previous one, leans more to the feminine side. So if you are looking for a nice, citrusy, long-lasting, by the way, eau de cologne for summer, something again like Italian Riviera type of fragrance, I would highly suggest you the, by the way, I didn't say the name of this fragrance, is Colonia Assoluto. There are lots of different colonias in Acqua di Parma. This one is Colonia Assoluto, and I have chosen this one in particular because I knew that it has lots of floral notes in the heart, and it really does. It really has lots of white florals, like abstract florals, white florals in the heart. That's why I prefer this one, and I didn't regret, and I think it totally met all my requirements. So again, as I said, this one I would say is the most probably will be appreciated by men. However, this one is totally unisex. I would say men can easily wear this one. This is not a type of pure floral eau de cologne, not at all. It's really unisex, but I would say women will prefer this one to this. The next house is also French house, I believe. And again, the same as with the Patchouli de Nicolai, the bigger size bottles from this house will be more expensive than the smaller ones. Like I'm talking about the 30 ml bottles, and probably you have recognized already, this is the Atelier Cologne. Again, the house that has the word Cologne in the name. However, I wouldn't say that the fragrances from these brands are all in Cologne concentration, though I would say they are quite sheer, most of them, but I still enjoy them a lot, and I wouldn't say that they are not performing type of fragrances. They have very good performance. I'm going to talk about the Vetiver Fatale. I love Vetiver fragrances, as well as my husband. He also loves, this is the fragrance that he likes a lot, and he wears it a lot, as you may see. And he also has a smaller, like 30 ml size bottle that he carries with him and refreshes when he needs. This fragrance is about vetiver, plum. It's a bit bitter, probably it has some galbanum. It's a bit sweet. It has that sweetness underneath. I don't know what is it, but it's like aromatic sweetness. It is fresh, it is clean, it is really easy to wear type of fragrance. It is not challenging at all, but at the same time it is very, you know, sophisticated type of fragrance, very well made of the highest possible ingredients, I believe, because I don't feel any sort of synthetic in here, very realistic. And by the way, people compare this one to Bal d'Afrique. They say it smells quite similar. I would say yes, it does. Yeah, they smell similar. Another fragrance that I've already shown from this brand is called Café Tuberosa, and this one is really interesting. I would say probably not that safe for blind buy type of fragrance. However, it's really nice, and it is a bit gourmand, but at the same time not. Because the tuberose here, I would say it's not typical at all. It's not that type of creamy white tuberose that we are used to. I would say, to me, this tuberose smells a little bit like rose, and it has lots of coffee aspect in this fragrance. I can smell it here, and it has the cigarette smoke. But it's not a fresh cigarette smoke that we can smell when we light a cigarette. No, it's like you are entering the cafe that is filled, like a French cafe. Definitely it's French, it's somewhere in Paris. It's filled with old furniture and like the very beautiful one, very elegant furniture. But this is definitely a cafe where people used to smoke and drink coffee. And someone has a rose based fragrance, and all together this is how this fragrance smells to me, like a vintage French cafe with an elegant furniture, and it's really romantic, I would say. this is how it smells to me. It does have a coffee here, the coffee vibes, but it's not like a freshly brewed coffee. It's the smell of coffee that was absorbed by the furniture that stands in that cafe. And the next small size bottle that I have from this brand is, it looks like this. It's cute, this one. It has this leather pouch like this, and this is Cedrat and Enivrant. Sorry, Cedrat Enivrant. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but it's something like this. And this one is very fresh. It's a burst. It's like a citrus bomb, I would say. This is the most citrusy fragrance that I have in my collection. This is a citron, lemon, bergamot, mint. I believe it has some, probably even vetiver on the base, or no, it has some greenness, definitely. Altogether, really, again, if you are looking for the most citrusy possible fragrance in the market, something that smells like, as I said, citron plus bergamot, lemon with mint, the freshest possible fragrance, this is the one. It's not synthetic, though it has the citron note. It smells very realistic. Again, it's like a Riviera type eau de cologne. It's like Acqua di Parma, Colonia, Assoluto. It's like this one from Patchouli di Nicolai, the Cap Neroli. It's from the same family. However, I would say this is the freshest from all of them. So really nice one. I love it. I use it, especially on summer. As you may notice, I have used probably 1/4 or 1/4 of the bottle, and I plan to use it. I will take it with me when I go back home. And the last brand for today is also a very old French brand with a history. It's a Molinard. I have old bottles. They have this beautiful purple color, and I believe the house already, the brand changed. They have changed the bottles already. They look a bit different, but still really nice. I love these bottles. I love the old ones. I also like the new ones. This one is Vanille Patchouli, and this fragrance is really intelligence type of gourmand, and I would say among all the fragrances today, this is the sweetest, because it really smells like vanilla plus patchouli, and both of the notes in this fragrance are very prominent. I would say, and I think I already described this fragrance, and I told that it smells to me like if you baked cookies. They are chocolate. They look like they are made out of chocolate dough, and they are vanilla cookies at the same time. But when you bite them, you realize that they are. This is not the chocolate dough. This is earth. So because the patchouli here, they are very earthy. But altogether, I would say it's very interesting fragrance. In terms of, it's not safe for blind buy, I would say, but you should be a big fan of big fan of patchouli to like this fragrance. But if you are, you can blind buy this one, definitely. But if you are not, don't. It really performs. It performs really well. So with performance, this is not a polite type of fragrance. It's a really high concentrated type of fragrance. It has a very good performance in terms of the longevity, and the sillage is also really long and noticeable. And I'm sorry that the lighting has changed because it really gets dark very fast and early, so that's why I had to switch on the artificial lighting so that I can continue and I can finish at least, because I'm going to show you the last fragrance from today's list. It's Lavande from Molinard. Again, a nice purple bottle, the old one. And this is a fragrance for all lavender lovers, like I am, because I love lavender a lot in the fragrance. And here it starts a bit medicinal, and again very close to the nature. This is really how the lavender smells in the very concentrated form. Let's say if there is a lavender oil, or you're entering the shops in the Provence where they make candles from lavender and soap and other things. It is really, really realistic and high concentrated, but then closer to the middle, it starts to warm up, and it fills. It is filled with the tonka beans. This fragrance is packed with tonka beans. It's a bit like tonic altogether, so it's a very comforting type of lavender, I would say. I see this fragrance for every day, as well as it's like a comforting type of fragrance that you can wear before you go to sleep, before you go to the bed. So calming down type of very cozy lavender, soft, sweet, warm, milky, a bit like tonic, as I said. Very nice, and people compare this to Tom Ford's Lavender Extreme. I would say this is not a clone, not at all, just because I believe that the Lavender Extreme was inspired by this fragrance, because this was created much earlier than the Lavender Extreme from Tom Ford, and this fragrance lasts longer, it performs much better. So if you are a fan of Lavender Extreme and you want something similar but for a very, very affordable price, I would say go for Lavande from Molinard, especially if you can find it in the old formula. It's difficult to find nowadays this fragrance in the old formula, but I think in a new one you can still purchase it from the site, from the website of Molinard. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching me. If you have any of today's fragrances, please let me know what you think about them. Do you agree with me that these are the affordable brands? Probably don't think so. Just let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions, if you have any fragrances, any niche houses that you can suggest, something that probably I haven't ever heard about, just let me know. Also, I'll be very, very happy, and I'll appreciate a lot if you write a comment. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to support me with your thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, of course please do so, and don't forget to press that notification bell to be notified about my next release. I try to publish videos every Saturday. If you want to you know, see the fragrances that I haven't yet showed in my channel, please visit my Instagram and follow if you like the content. And I want to thank you for watching me again, and I want to wish you all the best for the forthcoming weekend, for this weekend, and I hope to see you in my next video. As always, see you guys, bye.